Welcome to the YouTube video, where we will explore the controversy around the launch event for the No campaign against the Indigenous voice to Parliament in Tamworth, New South Wales. We'll look at the lack of community consultation, lack of First Nations people invited to speak, and the narrative presented by the panelists, as well as the reaction from the Gomeroi traditional owners who protested the meeting. The panel was hosted by Recognize a Better Way, a leading group organizing the No campaign, led by Indigenous businessman Nyungai Warren Mundine, former Nationals leader John Anderson, and former Labour Minister Gary Johns. They were joined by One Nation leader Pauline Hanson, local Nationals MP Barnaby Joyce, and former shock jock Alan Jones. While Mundine and Anderson did not attend the event, there was one Gomeroi representative, Mark Sutherland, the first Gomeroi person elected to the Tamworth Regional Council, who expressed his disappointment that there was not any community consultation before the event. The conversation and panelists centered around the lack of information provided by the government about the proposed voice to Parliament and the alleged powers of the body. Alan Jones claimed it would be an Indigenous-only bureaucracy with sweeping constitutional powers, and Barnaby Joyce argued that it was racist to give First Nations people a dedicated advisory body. This drew criticism from Mark Sutherland, who noted the dehumanizing language used, and the supposed superiority of one race over another, which is the core of racism. He observed an audience of mostly non-Indigenous people clapping and standing for the observations made. This was followed by Pauline Hanson's argument that too many people were claiming to be Aboriginal and seeking benefits, as well as a throwback to the assimilationist views of the early 20th century, where Gary Johns said that there will come a time when we are all Aboriginal. The Gomeroi people who were protesting the meeting outside expressed their concern about the dangers of the spread of misinformation, their worries about the conversations being had, and the comments made to them from the meeting attendees, such as the whites will win and the dingoes have been here longer than you. This event highlights the misunderstanding and fear that has been expressed by the No campaigners, who have not taken the time to understand and truly communicate with the Indigenous population. The majority of discussion is based off of false information and inflammatory language that only serves to worsen the mistrust between the First Nations people and the rest of Australia. It's time for Australians to recognise that the Indigenous voice to Parliament is a critical part in ensuring that the government hears the concerns of First Nations people, and moves past disconnect and fear in order to encourage true unity.